Hello, welcome back to Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm James Pendleton. I'm here to give my player ratings to Brighton Hove Albion 1, Everton 5. An absolutely incredible performance from the Toffees against Brighton. I've got the Nottingham Forest game up here, trying to get the table up so I know what I'm looking at. But Everton, I mean, wow, what a performance from the Blues. I just got up here. Everton are obviously out the relegation zone. They're up to 16th. They're not going to finish any higher than 16th, you wouldn't imagine, this season. And no one below them is going to do so either, to be fair. But just, wow, what an incredible performance by the Toffees. Thoroughly deserved. If anything, they deserve more. They deserve to score more than 5 goals because they were just fantastic from minute one. Really, really pleased for them. And yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with the team that went out there and how they played. So we're going to get into the player ratings now. We're going to start with Jordan Pickford. Now, I mean, I always say if a goalie keeps a clean sheet, I think they've got to be, unless the kicking's been really poor and they've given away loads of chances, or they've been lucky in terms of they've let one square and not been punished, those sorts of things. You're normally getting like a 7 out of 10. Jordan Pickford gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Generous, I know, but you've got to be, not often we win 5-1 away from home, but I thought Jordan Pickford was absolutely incredible. He did nothing in the first half, had nothing to do. Second half, he slowed the game down. He came when he needed to in terms of taking a bit of pressure off the defence. He made 2 or 3 world-class saves. One from Evan Ferguson was unbelievable. The header from, I think that was also Evan Ferguson when he tips it onto the post, was incredible. He was just fantastic. He made a couple of late ones as well where, okay, it might not have mattered they scored, but look, I said it in the match review, which you should watch, or the instant match reaction, should I say. Other than Alisson Becker, I can't name you one goalkeeper who I genuinely think is better than him. The Forest game's gone back in time 4 minutes. I don't know what this Microsoft Bing nonsense is crap, but there's only one goalkeeper I can say I firmly, thoroughly, genuinely believe is better than Jordan Pickford, and that's Alisson Becker. People might not agree. People might say Edison. Edison's obviously very, very good. But as I mentioned, I think he doesn't save a lot of things that I think he should save in terms of last season. I think he was one of the reasons why City bowed out the Champions League in such dramatic fashion. I just think Jordan Pickford is so good, and that's why I rate him so high. I'm just trying to get the Forest game up because that's not updating anymore. I would quite like to see what happens here. I think we want Southampton to win, but so long as Forest don't win, to be honest with you, I think we're all quite pleased, aren't we? So we'll see what happens. But I think a 10 for Jordan Pickford is entirely fair because I thought he was brilliant, and the goal he conceded is just pathetic. How on earth that's gone in? Of all the things that happened tonight that could have gone in, the fact of the matter is it was something that's at the back post. Someone tried to retrieve a long ball, and then he's headed it onto the post, or he kicked it onto the post, then hit someone and gone in. It's just ridiculously unfortunate for him, but as much as he'll be disappointed, I'm sure, in the grand scheme of things, he won't really care. Everton have won 5-1 away from home. They've done fantastically well there, so I'm sure that's what he'll be pleased about the most. But yeah, right back, Nathan Patterson, he was brilliant tonight. I gave him an 8.5. Matone got past him a couple of times, but by and large, and a couple of times where he headed the ball out when he didn't need to. Obviously, some people will say that it looks like people should have communicated to him better, which I understand, but I think at the same time, it looks like that happened, and he wanted to get the ball out of harm's way, which obviously I understand, but yeah, no good for my nerves anyway. But yeah, 8.5 out of 10. I thought he was fantastic. Vitaly Mykolenko on the other side, I'd give him an 8. I thought he was really good tonight, Mykolenko. Couple of laps in concentration. March, when he came on, gave him a bit of trouble, which is to be understood. He can go both ways. He's got a burst of pace about him. He's a good player, so I can understand that. But by and large, I thought Mykolenko was fantastic. Getting across on the cover, defending his channel well. I thought he was very good tonight, Vitaly Mykolenko, and to be fair, for someone who, after like Fulham, for example, I gave him so much stick. He was out of the team. Ben Godfrey was playing there. Obviously, Ruben Vinagre was nowhere to be seen, of course, but I thought he was really good tonight. So fair play to Mykolenko. Yerry Mina and James Tarkowski, give them both 9s. I thought they were fantastic. And, when I saw that notification come through from the Bobble saying Jamie in a starting place and Michael Keane tonight, I'm like, wow, that is all the motivation I think the fan base needed, because I think that's the only call that you can, people are going to say stuff like should have made subs in other games or stuff like that, but I think that's all quite subjective. I never really bought into the fact that he should have been making subs in games, because while we have needed some fresh legs and I would have liked to see changes, I'm never going to sit there and say that's why we lost because he's not brought a player on or off because the bench is awful. They made a quadruple sub of players who probably get into our team, so whereas our bench is just useless. I didn't even see he was on the bench tonight, to be honest with you. I know Onana and Morpay, obviously. I think I saw Ellis Sims. Sure, I could probably guess the rest of them, but we've had players on the bench I've never even heard of, like Samuel Smith the other week. So I don't think anyone can sit there and for definite say that Everton would be in a better place if Forest have just scored. If that's thrown me off. If he'd been making changes, whereas I do think if Yerry Mina was playing, you could genuinely say, yeah, Everton would be in a better spot if he played over Michael Keane. So I thought he was brilliant tonight, and I also thought James Tarkowski next to him was very, very good. They're just monsters in the air, absolutely imperious, the pair of them. And I think for me as well, because he's been on the bench the last 14 games, to come out of the literal cold like that, and to put in that display, he's just colossal. And you would 100% keep him at Everton if he could just stay fit, but he can't. And he's on a lot of money as well, obviously, but he's more than good enough, is what I'm saying. And I saw a tweet by someone who said, calm down, lads. He's not that good. He's better than Hakim. He's not that good. Mina is very good. He's a very, very good defender. We've seen it enough. We just haven't seen it enough to say, yeah, we need to keep him beyond the summer. The goalie there's just thrown one in. That's some really poor defending by Southampton. Anyway, moving on to the midfield. I mean, Dwight Mcneil, obvious 10. He was unbelievable. Obvious 10, and obviously he's quite good at footy as well. Just fantastic. Didn't have an involvement in the first goal, second goal, brilliant assist. Third goal he makes it, fourth goal he scores it, fifth goal he scores it. I can't remember seeing an attacking player put in a shift like that for a long time. Even going back to like Richarlison, I'm sure he has, obviously, but something has scored. But in terms of, he was just everywhere, and he's just so good. He's been so good since Sean Dyche came in, and we talk about players who he's brought in from the cold. Hopefully Mina's one of them. Michael Keane was, I suppose, but that was to our detriment, I think. Mcneil, not out the cold, but in terms of, he was playing, but flat into the sea, he wasn't doing a great deal. He's just been brilliant since he's come in, hasn't he? So, yeah, and the iconic celebrating before he scored. Let's just hope it doesn't end like Ross Barkley this time, But fantastic. Alex Iwobi on the other side, very, very good again. I'd give him a 9. I thought he was really good. First goal, brilliant ball inside. There's such underrated passes. He plays those kind of passes every single week. And you saw it against, as I say, Brentford the other week, where if someone doesn't do that pass, for a lot of people you're not really recognising, but when someone does, you've got to say, yeah, fair play, that's a brilliant ball in, and it's not something that you're going to see from most players on the team week in, week out. So very, very good, and yeah, super pleased for him. I thought he was fantastic tonight. Idrissa Gueye, I thought he was brilliant as well. I'd give him an 8.5. The only reason I'm not giving him a 9 is because he took a silly booking in the first half. I mean, he's been booked 7 times this season, and you got to say most of them. I think he didn't take one in the derby when we just hit the post and they ran clear and scored. I'd say most of those 7 were very silly, and it was a bit silly as well today. It meant he couldn't put a foot in wrong, but he didn't need to because he won the ball back fair and square. Forest are in again here. I don't know. But yeah, I thought he was really, really good tonight, and in terms of his high pressing and what he does going forward, he's been excellent. They have scored again. No one's celebrating. It looks like 2-0. That's a cracking goal, to be fair. I think he's been really good in that, but it's just the space he leaves behind him is just what's caused so many issues for us this season. But no, I thought he was really good today, and certainly deserves to be one of our top performers. James Garner next to him, I've given an 8 as well. I thought he was very good. He's got a nice blend, and I think that's why Dyche is playing him, because he's got that dynamism. He can get about the pitch a little bit, but he's got quality on the ball, whether it be dead balls, whether it be getting forward and just laying a ball off, or just taking the smart pass. And yeah, he's a good midfielder. So I think that's why Dyche is playing him, and that's why Onana is, on the bench. But we're all quite, at ease with that, I suppose. So yeah, I thought he was good today. Should have had his first Everton goal. I've been saying for weeks now, I think he's going to score an important goal for Everton. It's going to be a good one as well. So who knows? Maybe it will come on Sunday. We'll see. But really good again, James Garner. And it's just a shame he's been out injured for a large chunk of the season. Really good goal that by Forest, but Southampton are pants, aren't they? Really bad. Moving on, next up, Abdoulaye Doucouré. I mean, again, it's 10 out of 10 territory. I probably would put him down to 9.5 to be fair, but because he also took a very silly booking, which meant he couldn't do as much defensive work. But I mean, he scored 2 goals. He put us 2-0 up. He worked so hard for the team. Had a role in the third goal as well, which is always nice. I think he was just electric tonight, wasn't he, Abdoulaye Doucouré? And I mean, Frank Lampard, he brought Dwight Mcneil, not played him anywhere near the kind of role that he should play in to thrive. He's got Abdoulaye Doucouré, he's not played him in any sort of role to thrive. Ancelotti, I think, was kind of in between. He played well under Ancelotti. He had him in a more offensive role where he had a bit more licence. Oh, Southampton nearly scored. But I thought he was excellent tonight. And again, I was being really harsh. I put him down to 9.5, but I think 2 goals kind of overrides a silly booking. And at least he didn't get sent off this week. So, but as I said in the match reaction, both Mcneil and Doucouré have come good on their promises, which is excellent to see. So yeah. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin, easy 9 out of 10. He was absolutely brilliant tonight. If you ever want to wonder how football has changed, not like I think people should, because I think it's quite obvious the way football's changed. One of the things is just that strikers are more than just goal scorers now. Whereas when I grew up, the Van Nistelrooys and the like, and I don't want to say someone that's uneducated, but certainly Van Nistelrooy was kind of the perfect poacher, goal scorer, goals in the box. Obviously, he'd do some work in the build-up. He always wants balls in. He always wants to be on the end of things, in terms of an all-encompassing number 9. Obviously, we can think of loads, I'm sure, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's never been goals. Christ, I've just seen Forest's chairman there. He is one big fella. But yeah, he's thrown me off a little bit there. But yeah, he is very, very good. He's held the ball up so well tonight. That first goal is just ridiculous from him. It's some of the best centre-forward play you're going to see all season. And again, I think we're seeing the kind of return of the big man, but with good feet for a big man. It's kind of classic, isn't it? But yeah, he was brilliant tonight. I wish we'd scored a 4th and he could have come off with like 20 minutes to go. But I love the fact he's going into tackles. He's going up in the air. He's bouncing around. He's throwing his body on the line. I do love that from him, and it's really good to see that. Southampton are on the counter attack here, though, which is nice. Big chance. Dwight Mcneil scores this every day of the week. 2-1, excellent, good stuff. But yeah, he was brilliant tonight, and again, he'll do everything he can to make it difficult for the likes of John Stones and Laporte and Akanji and Nathan Ake or Bernardo Silva, whatever bizarre system Pep plays on the weekends. A centre half, he'll do everything he can to make it difficult for them. So yeah, really pleased for him, and I thought he's fantastic. And then Neil Maupay comes on, he runs around a bit, he makes a good flick, which could have resulted in a goal. So I mean, it wasn't sort of vintage, but he didn't have for a couple of minutes, so he did well. And Amadou Onana, what a pass for that fifth goal. I forget how many goals he scored tonight, unbelievable. But yeah, Amadou Onana for that 5th goal, what a pass. So he got his foot in a little bit as well, which is nice. He's only on the pitch for 5 minutes, so I'm not saying I was expecting a Dwight Mcneil kind of performance, but what a pass from him. And how nice is it to be able to bring someone like him off the bench? Again, I know he's not been brilliant the last couple of months, but I just hope the fact he's been on the bench because he was injured and then because he was ill, and now you've got to say it's because there's players who are playing better than him at the minute, James Garner, namely. So really, really pleased that we're able to bring someone of his calibre on and he can make an impact in the game. And then you think he'll be fresher and hungrier for Sunday if he were to come in, whether it be from the start or coming off the bench. But yeah, I've been rambling on for long enough here. Forest have currently got a free kick, so hopefully they don't make it 3-1. But yeah, what a performance by Everton. That's all you can really have to say, isn't it? I mean, from start to finish, Everton have just done something that Everton have never really done. And I'm not saying Everton are going to do this consistently, but it's funny because at half time I recalled the fact that they're in again. That I recalled that Burnley beat Brighton 3-0 last season at the Amex, and I remember seeing that thinking, this is ridiculous. Like, Valverde scored, and I think he was going to score a hatful for them. Again, low battery there, been rambling on for that long, but it was just quite funny because it was like the Dyche kind of impact. But and one final thing I will say before I go and have a bevy and hopefully watch Southampton get another goal back here is Dominic Calvert-Lewin got injured at the Amex last season, and I said it the other day. I said it feels like an age ago that it was last season we played at the Amex. Like, not played at the Amex, sorry, when it was last season, because last season it was the third game of the season or the fourth game of the season. And Everton hadn't been beaten yet. Andros Townsend was playing really well, but Charlton was doing well. Calvert-Lewin had already scored a few goals. We had a couple of wins under our belts. Looked like Benitez's bog ball, Senor Rotund, was going to lead us charging up the table, but it didn't happen. But say Dominic Calvert-Lewin's career, it's not an over-exaggeration to say Dominic Calvert-Lewin's career has been altered massively by what happened that day at the Amex, and the hero arc to come back to the Amex and put in, a top class centre forward display. Good save by the goalie there. Centre forward display is really, really good, and I made up for him. So there we have it. Lots of 10s, lots of 8s, lots of 9s. Everyone was fantastic. It's not like we were carrying anyone today. We were just, to a man, brilliant. And what a performance by Everton. So make sure to like, obviously subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow our socials, and let us know what you thought about the game. Up the toffees.